Today, this channel reached 250,000 subscribers. Never in the history of YouTube has a channel done that in 4 months. And it's a testament to the spirit of this channel and its viewers helping one another. In recent weeks, we've adopted the term purple power, but it's a lot more than even that. For the first time ever, I give a deeply introspective and deeply personal reflection on how this channel has changed people's outlook on getting money, getting relief, and helping one another. Good evening, everybody. This is LALATE. Hope you're good and safe. This is Evenings LALATE, our 1-hour programming block every night on LALATE. This is a special report about what's happening on stimulus. I'll be going through the incredible details that are unfolding tonight, but I'll also give you an introspective analysis and personal message of what it is like for a channel to go from 0 to 250,000 subscribers in 4 months. As always, go to the front of the channel and hit the subscribe button, and I might feature comments in a future recording as well. Tonight I'll be answering some of your 853 comments from last night, so drop your comments below. Also like this video so this video appears higher in the rankings. We're doing about 15,000 likes all day today. Boy, I mean, it is a full day of a lot of stuff going on stimulus. 3 bills, 3 different types of groups to get you stimulus checks, FPUC extensions, UI, food, rent. They're working different angles. And what I saw and what I thought about it today is that it basically, in a way, represents us, the purple power. These are people who said, no, enough is enough. I'm not going to have someone else tell me what to do. I know what has to be done, and I'm going to get it done. And I'm going to stay focused, motivated, and positive and get it done. And that's why these 3 bills are really the embodiment of what's happening. Let me turn to what's going on and then turn back to us. First, 3 different groups have really seen a problem with what's going on. And, you know, as we sat back over the last week, we wondered if everyone in Congress was so spineless that no one had an individual voice, that they just listened to what the Temple of Doom would tell them to do, and that they couldn't send out stimulus checks. Well, unbeknownst to us, no. They absolutely did not. Last Thursday, a whole group of Democrats got on the phone with Nancy Pelosi and said, you can't do this. You absolutely can't do this. You have to do a package. Her response was, no, I'm fine. I'm here to win, and I'm going to win. Well, this is not a one-person show. This is an entire country under a pandemic, and a one-person show who has a personal vendetta or whatever it is, that she wants to win something. This is not the time or place. Maybe another year with another bill, but not this one. So those people on the phone, including Steny Hoyer, Democrats, and a lot of moderate Democrats, really had enough. Ironically, a lot of groups have had enough with her for weeks. Those included the problem solvers who went to meet with her. A group of Republicans and Democrats said, hey, let's try to get this done. Let's try to get... No, unless it's exactly what I want, don't come to me. Unless it's exactly what I want as an individual person, don't come to me. I'm the one to determine what I want and how I want and exactly the number I want and the way I want to do it. Did this country become an oligarchy? Did it become a monarchy? Did it become a one-person state where one person tells us how to do everything? So as we sat back, we wondered, okay, does anyone have a brain cell in the rest of Congress? Well, apparently they do, and they have really good hearts. So the Blue Dog Democrats had enough. The Problem Solver Caucus had enough. The New Democrat Coalition had enough. These are Republicans, these are Democrats, these are House members, they're senators. They said, one person's not going to speak for the rest of us. We're going to have a voice. We're educated, we're smart, we know what's going on, we need to get stimulus checks out. We need unemployment benefits to go out. We're not going to have one person speak for us. And when I thought about that today, I thought, that's us. That's this community. When I started this channel on April 25th, I did things differently. I simply did things differently. And certainly every video has sort of changed over time. But on my very first video, where I talked about PPP loans, which is probably the most boring subject you could possibly talk about, I had jazz music underlaying the video and new age pop music, and I had an ocean background and surf and people on surfboards and people on rollerblades. Who does that type of thing? The initial reaction to some people that watched the video was, get rid of the damn music. Don't have an opening credit. Why are you on the beach? You should be in a white room with a white background. Well, guess what? I didn't listen to them. And that's really what this channel has become. We've all become our own independent voice. We've all become smart and educated and informed. And if we didn't know what the situation was, I was here to tell you. I was here to inform you that, this is what's happening, and this is who's doing the bill, and this is what they're saying, and this is where it's going. And because we became a strong, positive, focused, motivated group, we created a lot of incredible success. When you start things and you start to do things for yourself, and you realize that perhaps what has been told to you is incorrect, and you start to see progress, then you realize, wait a second, this might be the situation. As these blue dogs, these new age Democrats, these problem solvers sit back and say, hey, people need unemployment assistance. And, Steve Mnuchin offered $400 a week in July. She turned it down. $400 a week for every week in the month of July. That's $1,600. How about every week in the month of August? That's then $3,200. How about every week for the month of September? We're up to $4,800. $4,800 you would have had, but one woman said, no, don't do it unless you do it my way. Has this become a country where where one person tells us what to do? No. So that's why these three groups are now getting together and saying enough is enough. And they're not the only three groups. There's also the president. The president has really had enough. He's had enough of people telling us, you don't need this, and you need to don't do that. And certainly the president has been accused of doing things single-handedly under his own accord. But in a case in which people need relief, and they're not getting it, something has to be done. When I started recording the very first video, and today we reached 250,000 subscribers, I had one subscriber. But I knew there was a problem with EIDL. And so I read on camera comments, and I would answer the questions. It's like, oh, there's a problem here. Let me try to solve the problem. So I would go through it, and I'd figure it out, and I'd figure out the problem. And so that would be the next story of the next day. And I'd figure out the problem. Then there was another problem to fix. And I fixed that problem. I was here to fix problems. And I fixed problems. And that's how we got progress. Ironically, sort of like the problem solvers. Things can be done if you fix them. But if someone tells you not to do anything unless you do exactly the number I want, chilling, going hungry, you get nowhere. And what slowly unraveled was a path of people being very successful, getting incredible sums of money under COVID-19 relief, first stimulus package, that was a result of this channel. And I'm not saying this as a pat on my back. I'm saying this because people realized quickly while watching this video, while watching this channel, that there was a mistake and they had to fix it. And they fixed it. And then they got progress. And that progress resulted in them getting money. When I started EIDL loans, for example, and I realized that there was a routing problem. There was a problem which people put the wrong Social Security number, the wrong EIN. Some people were putting business EINs as their Social Security numbers, or putting their business checking accounts as their personal checking accounts, and that was denying them of the loan or holding up the loan. I'm like, fix this. And they would call up SBA, and I'd say it all the time, call up SBA. They fixed it. They fixed the problem and they got the money. It's sort of like what's happening with the bills now. Saw the problem, Nancy Pelosi, fixed it, or tried to fix it, going around her, doing it another way. And that's the spirit of the channel. In those early days, we didn't know who to reach out to fix things, which is a little bit different than here. Here you know how to fix things. You introduce it by a bill to the Senate and the House. You don't need to Temple of Doom to be involved. You just need enough of votes. You go around her, you speak to senators and Republicans and Democrats in the House, and see if you have enough votes to get it done. You don't need her involved if people think independently. And that's what I told viewers of this channel. I said, call up SBA, see if they will get your fix this for you. I said, call up SBA. In those first few weeks, I literally had viewers calling SBA every single day for 7 days. They would call, and they would call, and they would call. I had people reporting back to me that they were doing somewhere upwards of 6 hours or 7 hours on the phone for an entire week with SBA to get their money. And that's the spirit of perseverance. The spirit of sitting back and putting up your feet and saying, I'll tell you when I get my check in the mail, is not the spirit of this channel. The spirit of this channel is fighting for your money, fighting for money that's yours, getting that money that's yours, being motivated to go out and get that money, because no one was telling anyone on this channel before this channel came to existence, go get that money, that's yours. Don't sit around and assume it's ever going to land in your bank account. People weren't getting a penny. People were not getting a penny until I came along and I said, listen here, go get that money, that's yours. Don't sit around and just not assume anything. So whether it was SBA and they're calling up SBA and speaking to Tier 2 and calling them again, if their answer was wrong, I specifically told viewers, if you got a bad answer or a wrong answer, you hang up the phone, you call back and get someone else. It's sort of like dealing with Nancy Pelosi. If you get someone on the phone, they say, our caucus is aligned, just no. Hang up the phone on her, go around her, and get someone else to get it done. And they got it done. They got it done. And so viewers that say, sometimes in the comments, Nancy's going to do this. I'm just sort of tired of all this. I just don't see, because Nancy, that's not the spirit of the channel. The spirit of this channel has always been people fighting to get what was theirs, being motivated to get what was theirs, and being perseverant and optimist and focused and patient. Whether it was Eileen that got $8,000 from PUA 2 months later in the state of Florida, or my viewers who watched me every single day do PUA videos that got no money in Florida and Texas, those hotbeds of states that had absolute problems for unemployment assistance when PUA first went live. They didn't get a penny for 2-3 months. They stayed with me. I said, you're going to get your money. You're going to get your money. Just stay with me. Or the states like Ricardo Hall in New York that talked about upstate New York that had computer hacks, and so they couldn't send out the money, like Illinois or Hawaii that was all delayed. I said, stay with me. You're going to get the money. It's even recently. I've had viewers, one mom said, I told my daughter she's going to get her LWA. LA told me, just stay patient. She got her LWA. Or, oh geez, Kevin Lee, never got a penny for his unemployment, persevered, got $19,000 just 2 weeks ago. Or people who need rent assistance, also Kevin Lee, he knew he needed rent, he was going to become homeless. He called up and got a grant and got that money. Or Curve on my EIDL wonder. He stayed with me. He got an EIDL loan. It was only $5,000. Now, some people say $5,000 is great. It would not have survived. He could not survive to next year on $5,000. So you know what he did? He lived in his car for 2-3 weeks until he could overcome that obstacle and get a bigger EIDL loan, and he did it. $25,000. This is the spirit of this channel. We may call it purple power, we may call it cats or dogs or, whatever we want to call it. But the spirit is really getting what's right and is yours. Never having one person tell you no. No's not an answer. And, I've seen comments from people that are really difficult circumstances, but I've had it all. I've had viewers at the very beginning who lost an eye during the pandemic. I've had viewers who've lost family members during the pandemic. I've had absolutely everything, but they've gotten through it. Let me turn to some of your 853 comments from yesterday. Bernadette, we already know the negotiations are going nowhere because of Nancy Pelosi. See, this is exactly the type of person that should not be watching this channel, because she believes that one person can destroy your entire livelihood. That's exactly not the type of person that she doesn't get the message, because the message is really that one person does not determine your fate. Lenetra, the government doesn't care about anyone. Sandra, I'm angry because I was conditioned initially thought that Nancy was fighting for people and not backing down to Republicans. But LLA, you opened my damn eyes and now I'm awake. I'm never for the U.S. people. She's a cruel woman and karma's real. But don't turn anger into negativity. Your focus should be for getting you what you need and doing what's right. And that's why aligning yourself with groups that are trying to work around Nancy Pelosi and get what's real. Cindy Hanks, this just makes me angry. Families sleeping in tents on the side of the road. Just a bunch of liars. Pelosi needs to smoke more pot. Julie West, states won't help people who don't need help. They're a heartless bunch of thieves. Also, you don't want to generalize. As I detailed today, I've had some wonderful states that have really stepped up and done great stuff. Other states have absolutely been a hot mess. So yeah, there's a lot that are very bad. The old gamer. Our government is such an embarrassment. It's becoming the laughingstock of the world. Samantha, I'm voting out everyone who's in office. I would agree. Margaret, the rich fall into temptation and snare. Renee, our government is Nancy, you got to go also. Judith Schoner, no other country in the world got this money back from the government. I'm like in Germany and overseas and enjoy their government's money laughing at us. You know, this is fortunes this government sent out to states and none of it has landed in the people's hands. It's horrible. Lynn, I'm so sick of Congress. They could care less about we the people. Stay positive. Don't think that this is over. Chris, prayers to all. This is ridiculous. Pam, I wish Nancy would stay out of it. Amen. But now we're working around Nancy. Daniel, of course the states haven't used the money until state officials can figure out how to get the greedy hands on the money first. There is greed everywhere. But that doesn't mean we're not going to win. Matthew, they should see how much interest the states got because not using the money. They should charge the states that. Absolutely. Jennifer, I can't even buy food. It's getting bad, about to be homeless. They need to get it together. What I want you to understand as we go into Tuesday morning is that you're all community. We all have the same kindred spirit. We're not partisan. We're not Republicans. We're not Democrats. I may start with a Pelosi joke about hair, but that doesn't mean I'm one or the other. What I'm trying to do is detail what the situation is and ensure that you get the money you're supposed to get, keep you positive, keep you motivated, and keep you inspired. Because ultimately, you're going to get exactly what you need. Stay with me. Go to the Funnest channel and hit the subscribe button and drop your comments below. I might feature them tomorrow's recording and like this video. Coming up tomorrow morning on Mornings LA, more about the scandal. If you have things that are happening in your state where your state has been given COVID-19 fund under the Coronavirus Relief Act in the spring and has not used it, send me those links. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, stay focused, and stay at LA for more.